Good morning. Thank you for joining us for this service. Please observe reverently or join us in the chanting of the Juseige, the most favorite of all verse passages from the larger Sutra on Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu, 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 Namo Amida Butsu. Busetsu, Daimuryo, Jukyo, Juseige, Gagon Cho Tegan, Kishimu Jodo, Shigan Humandoku, Tehujo Shogak, Gao Muryoko, Uidai Seishu, Huthai Sho Bingu, Tefujo Shogaku, Gashijo Butendo, Myosho Cho Jippo, Kukyo Mi Shomon, Tefujo Shogaku, Ryokujin Shonen, Joeshu Bongyo, Shigumu Jodo, Isho Teninshi, Jinriki and Daiko, Fushomu Saido, Chojo San Kumyo, Kothai Shu Yakunan, Kaihichi Eigen, Meshi Kon Moan, Hei Sokusho Akudo, Tudaten Shumon, Kothojo Mandoku, Iolo Jippo, Nichigaten Shujuki, Tenko Onfugen, Ishu Kai Hodo, Koseku Dokuho, Jo Dai Shuchu, Seppo Shi Shiku, Kuyo Ithaya Buten, Gu Sokushu Tokuhon, Ganesh Yoman, Tokui Thangayo, Nyobuten Mugechi, Tudaten Mi Husho, Gangaku Eriki, Toshi Sai Shoson, Shiganya Koka, Daisen no Kondo, Koku Sho Tenina, To Chinmyoke. Namandabu, 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 Namandabu. Gani Shikudoku, Byodo Sei Isai, Doden Bodai Shin Onyo On La Koku. Namanda Burmanda, Namanda 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 Burmanda, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Well, again, good morning, and thank you for tuning in to observe this service and Dharma talk. We are coming to you from the Pasadena Buddhist Temple, where Alan Goto, my wife Kyoko Okura Gibbs, and I are recording this on January 21st of 2021 to be broadcast on this Sunday, January 24th. Please allow me to begin by reading a section of the Tani Sho, the record of Shinran's oral teachings. I will read article number 5. I have never said the name, even once, for the repose of my departed father and mother. For all living beings have been, my parents and brothers and sisters, in the course of countless lives, in many states of existence. Upon attaining Buddhahood in the next life, I must save every one of them. Were saying the name indeed a good act in which a person strove through his own powers, then he might direct the merit thus gained towards saving his father and mother. But this is not the case. If, however, he simply abandons such self-power and quickly attains enlightenment in the Pure Land, he will be able to save all beings with transcendent powers and compassionate means, whatever karmic suffering they may be sinking into in the 6 realms and the 4 modes of birth, beginning, of course, with those with whom his life is deeply bound. Today is the first day in the rest of the life of the American people. Today is the first day after the Biden-Harris administration were inaugurated. I was watching the inauguration on TV yesterday, and I enjoyed the virtual parade and the music and the fireworks and the poem by Amanda Gorman. And the rejoining of the Paris Accord is something I enjoyed, which happened later that evening. We heard that an executive order had been written to join the international climate change concern that was formulated most recently in Paris, the Paris Accord. Now, not all of you voted for those two, and not all of you are as pleased with the new approach that is being taken in many areas, at least not as pleased as I am. All of us, though, are part of a nation which, as a nation, is again facing up to ecological imbalance, facing up to what humans have done to this planet. We are now again facing up to the ecological imbalance we've created and that we must heal. So facing up to ecological imbalance is what I will be speaking to you in the time allotted me today. The importance of ecology for Mahayana Buddhism, for Buddhists in the larger stream of tradition, cannot be overemphasized. The whole alone is real. Actually, the Buddha didn't say that. George Wilhelm Friedrich von Hegel said that about 213 years ago. But it's true. The whole alone is real. One of the things that Kyoko and I both learned in the seminary in Japan, I did training here and in Japan, went through the Institute of Buddhist Studies, got a couple of master's degrees here, spent 2 years in a program in seminary in Japan, Chuo Bukkyo Gakuen. And, you know, at a seminary, they put things a little more directly or simply than they do in a graduate program. And sometimes that disappointed me, and sometimes it charmed me. And this is a case where I was charmed by the explanation of the Dharma. We could talk forever about what is the Dharma, the Buddha Dharma, the truth that we speak of. Well, it's 3 things that we learned in the seminary at Chuo Bukkyo Gakuen. The Dharma is that which was taught by the Buddha. Okay. The Dharma is also that which leads to Buddhahood. Anything that leads you to awakening is the Dharma. Moreover, the Dharma is anything that is true. The whole alone is real, is true. We are, each of us, distinct movements within universal becoming, within the universal process. But truly, the whole alone is real. Living in a way consistent with recognizing the oneness of life, living with the understanding that the whole alone is real, living our lives along with other living beings, living as Buddhists, recognizing that we and all those whom we love, all the things we care about, are part of this one interconnected system. This is awakening from delusion. To understand this, to understand connectedness, interconnectedness, the oneness of things. This is to awaken to the truth. In part, we're awakening to the immensity of the task before us. Ecologists, Mahayana Buddhists, persons such as ourselves are trying to do something that appears to be impossible. Mahayana Buddhists, that's us, are committed to liberating all suffering and deluded beings. All suffering and deluded beings. Man, woman, child, cat, dog, squirrel, jaybird. If not quite impossible, this is a task that will take us a long time to complete. Facing the truth can be sobering. There is a version of ecological concern that is achievable, that is focused on achievable goals, like eliminating the use of one-time use plastic bags and bottles. But if your ecological concern is based on a hope that the human being, that we can live forever, that is both unrealistic and an impossible goal. Allow me to quote a Hollywood celebrity. That's who we usually turn to for information in this day and age. And I will quote a Hollywood celebrity on being realistic in your ecological concerns. And this is Ted Danson, you may know from the Cheers series. Ted Danson told us once, "Look, no one gets out of this alive." That's not the game plan. We all die. So nobody's going to get an award for saving the planet and get to live forever. Okay, then let's engage with the problems of the ecology with a joyous and a hopeful heart. Because it doesn't matter if we blow it. It's not like this is a desperate game where if we win, we won't die. We all die. Sounds very negative, Ted, on ecology, but to be ecologically aware indeed can be scary. There is a difficult, onerous, demanding task for those of us who believe in oneness, in interconnectedness, in real life. If to be an ecologist means to see yourself as part of a system of living things from which you cannot be separated, then I agree with my retired colleague, Reverend Donald Castro, when he says that to be a Buddhist is to be an ecologist. In that sense, yes. We know, Buddhists know, that aging, illness, suffering, and death are inevitable at some point for every individual. If we identify ourselves as simply and only separate individuals with no deep connection to others, to the whole of life, then our situation is hopeless. But the supposition that we are separate in the first place is denied by Mahayana Buddhism, is denied by ecologists, is denied by deep ecology. Buddhists honor the earth, ecologists honor the earth, Native Americans honor the earth, and we're saying similar things, highly mutually compatible things. Now, there are styles of environmentalism that are un-Buddhistic. If you enact your environmental concern with panic and obsession, with harsh judgment of those who don't share your concern, that would not be a Buddhist way of doing it. That sort of perspective on ecology, the kind of is not good. The kind of perspective, the kind of ecology that is Buddhistic that I appreciate, which I find very Buddhistic, is well represented by the quote I read earlier from Ted Danson. I won't read it again. We aren't going to win and get to live forever in this way, so let's just fix things. Let's just make it better for everyone we care about. For us, for Mahayana Buddhists, seeing all life as one is a choice we make. If we don't choose to see life this way, is it in fact one? Who knows? I'm not even sure it's a meaningful question. Taking up the viewpoint that we're each part of this earth, taking up the viewpoint that all is one, that we are part of one another, that we cannot escape, that we cannot replace just one opinion with another and get all better. We're all connected. Everybody has to rise together. If someone tells me, oh, I've just adopted the opinion that all life is one, what am I supposed to say to him? Give him an award? I suppose my reply to such a grand self-congratulatory remark would be, wonderful, that's just wonderful. You have decided you've taken the view that all life is one. Well, I'm trying to do that. I spent my life trying to do that. But if it's going to be truly wonderful, this view of oneness, seeing ourselves as deeply connected to the lives of others and to the earth itself, if it's going to be truly wonderful, we've got to do something about it. It may be simple things like recycling, not using one-time use plastic things when we don't have to, not driving the car when you don't have to. We've all noticed that you can see the mountains at a greater distance now that people are driving less. Organic gardening, man, that's a good thing to do. Allow this perspective to be reinforced 84,000 ways, the perspective that all life is one, the vision that we participate in one another's lives. It needs to be lived and reinforced in 84,000 ways, maybe more, maybe more. But I will, if I may, tell you that we can get started by saying the Nembutsu and relying on the vow that will help us to be more caring and less aggressive. And we will say the Nembutsu together, if we may. In closing the service after, I will, if I may, read that passage from Shinran one more time. Again, Article 5 of the Tanisho. I have never said the name, the Nembutsu, even once for the repose of my departed father and mother. For all living beings have been my parents, my brothers and sisters, in the course of countless lives in many states of existence. Upon attaining Buddhahood in the next life, I must save every one of them. Were saying the name indeed a good act in which a person strove through his own powers, then he might direct the merit thus gained towards saving his father and mother. But this is not the case. If, however, he simply abandons such self-power and quickly attains enlightenment in the Pure Land, he will be able to save all beings with transcendent powers and compassionate means, whatever karmic suffering they may be sinking into in the 6 realms of existence and the 4 modes of birth, beginning with those with whom his or her life is deeply bound. This was Shinran's teaching. In closing, I will ask you to join me in the Nembutsu in saying the Buddha's name along with a phrase meaning to rely upon and trust in. And we may say this for a couple minutes this time if we can. Those who wish to, please join me in Gassho in a posture of respect and in saying the name of the Buddha of limitless wisdom and endless life. We rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Burmanda. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Thank you very much.